And what do you make of that? Lenders being too complacent?
Well, what I'd say is we are not complacent. I heard Alec Ferguson once say complacency is a disease, and so we should all avoid that at all costs. I think that it's really important that the Bank of England are making the comments that they are. Interest rates are obviously low, wages are flat, and as a result people are keen to borrow more, and we just all have to make sure that people can afford to pay back what they do borrow. And at Virgin Money we're very, very focused on making sure we lend responsibly to our customers and they understand what they've got, and so far, you know, that's going very well.
It's very interesting. The Bank of England's prudential regulatory arm recently decided against capping effective interest rates on cards. I mean, they could have done that, couldn't they, if they were really worried?
I think that if you remember a couple of years ago there was a concern about the buy-to-let housing market, and the Bank of England intervened, the PRA intervened, just to say that they had these concerns. And often that's, I suspect, what it takes in order to get all of the banks really focused on, are we doing the right thing, do we think we've got a problem here? And so I think that the comments that they're making are well-timed and, you know, definitely in a place that means that all of the banks, I'm sure, will be looking at the quality of their lending and the way in which they lend. We always look at that. I'm sure others do too today, particularly after the speech made last night.
Are you actually turning away a lot of credit applicants then?
From our point of view, we accept customers that meet our credit criteria, and then we do turn away those that don't. I mean, other banks do offer customers a different deal, perhaps a more expensive deal. But from our point of view, we think that it is responsible to say to customers, this is the product and this is the hurdle that you have to achieve in order to get it. And if you don't, then it's probably not right for you.
So what about this warning that you've issued on the housing market today? I mean, it's rattled some of your investors today, hasn't it?
Well, to be honest, it wasn't meant to be a warning on the housing market at all. From our point of view, we were just giving a balanced outlook to what's been an excellent first half. So we've had the best ever half year for mortgages. Our intermediary business is strong. We've got new products. And so from our perspective, all is good. The housing market's certainly flat and slightly growing on last year. But we're just looking to the future and saying, you know, we do see that there's some tempering of house prices. And consumers, we think, just need to think about that as they take out mortgages so they don't borrow too much.
You've actually said, I think, house price weaknesses in certain regions. Is that London you're talking about? Well,
I think we've seen, haven't we, in a lot of press and media comments that London house prices are certainly flattening. And I'm sure that will be the case given some of the uncertainties around Brexit, particularly if people from overseas aren't buying properties in London anymore. Now, you know, many local Londoners might say that that's a great thing to happen. So we're certainly looking to the future with continued confidence, just aware, as everybody should be, that things can change.
So your share price is off something like 9% this evening because of these comments, allegedly. You've been buying shares this evening.
Oh, you've noticed that? Well, I mean, you know, we've had our best ever results. We've got a really strong business and we look to the future with confidence. Given that we're so confident about that outlook and the quality of our business and given where the share price is, I'm delighted to be able to do that. Wish I could have done some more, to be honest.
Now, separately, you've been at the forefront of the campaign to get more women into senior roles in the finance industry, which has a shocking record on the gender pay gap. What did you make of those numbers that the BBC published last week? Well, I mean, I think that regardless of what we think about the numbers, which weren't good, I think the fact that they're out in the open and public will make a difference. And so, you know, I think that it should be a requirement for the gender pay gap to be published for all organisations. We published ours. It's not as good as I want it to be, but at least it's out there so that we can start to make a difference. TSB have done the same thing and I applaud them for it. But not very many organisations have, and I think that until organisations are required to disclose their gender pay gap, people will hide behind that, you know, that veil, if you like. Let's make sure that all organisations disclose it and then we can change it.